All right, let's talk about something that trips up almost all of us, that tricky little two-letter word, no. And more importantly, how to actually say it without feeling like the worst person in the world afterwards. So let's get into it. Okay, first things first, we've got to reframe the whole problem here. You probably think you have a time management issue, right? I mean, who doesn't? But what if? What if that's not it at all? What if the real problem is actually a struggle with setting personal boundaries? You know the drill. An email pops up, a coworker asks for a little favor, a friend has a last-minute plan, and boom. Before you've even had a chance to think, the word yes is already on its way out of your mouth. And that's where the trouble starts, right? Because deep down, every fiber of your being might be screaming no, but that automatic people-pleasing reflex just takes over. It's this huge gap between what we want and what we do. And this one tiny habit, it has this massive snowball effect. One little yes piles on top of another and another, until suddenly your calendar is a complete disaster and your energy tank is on empty. You're just stretched way too thin, trying to be everything for everyone. And then comes the emotional hangover. You're not just tired, are you? No, you're also feeling a little resentful toward the very people you were trying to help, and honestly, you're pretty frustrated with yourself for letting it happen again. Look, if any of this is hitting a little too close to home, I want you to know you are so not alone. This is a super common human thing. But the good news? There is absolutely a way to break the cycle. So why is this so unbelievably hard? Well, it's not some kind of character flaw. Turns out, there are some pretty deep-seated, scientific reasons why saying a simple no can feel like climbing a mountain. This really gets to the heart of it. On a basic biological level, our brains are literally hardwired to want other people to like us. For our ancestors, fitting in wasn't just nice, it meant survival. So being agreeable feels safe. And saying no, well, our brain can read that as a major social danger. And that danger signal shows up as these really specific fears, doesn't it? We're scared of letting people down. We're terrified they'll think we're selfish, or that we'll just make things awkward and start some kind of conflict. These fears are powerful, and they're usually what push us to say yes when we shouldn't. I love this quote because it just flips the whole thing on its head. Think about it. The choice isn't just saying yes or no to someone else. It's about saying yes to their request or saying yes to your own time, your own energy, your own peace of mind. It's really an act of self-respect. Okay, so even when we finally work up the nerve to say no, we often make this one huge mistake that kind of ruins the whole thing. Let's talk about the weak no. Just look at the difference here. On the left, that's the weak no. It's full of long-winded excuses, way too many apologies, and all these justifications. It basically sounds like you're asking for permission to say no. And that just tells the other person your boundary is up for negotiation. But on the right, the strong no is the total opposite. It's clear, calm, respectful, and firm. End of story. So how do we actually deliver that strong, confident no? Well, guess what? There's a super simple, kind of elegant formula you can use every single time. It's just 3 easy parts.
Here it is, the whole recipe. Step 1, start with appreciation. A little kindness goes a long way. Step 2, give them clarity. State your no directly, no beating around the bush. And step 3, offer finality. You close the door firmly instead of leaving it cracked open with a maybe later.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. Thanks for thinking of me. That's your appreciation. But I won't be able to take this on. That's clarity and finality all rolled into one. It's kind. It's firm, and it's done. No dramatic stories, no guilty excuses. Remember, the shorter the no, the stronger it is. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You've just delivered your perfect, strong no. And then, bam, the wave of guilt hits you. This is the biggest hurdle for most people, so let's tackle it with a whole new way of thinking. This right here is the game changer. We have to reframe what that guilt actually means. It does not mean you did something wrong. When you're building a new muscle like setting boundaries, that feeling of guilt is often just your brain reacting to a new behavior. It's not a moral report card, it's just the discomfort of growth. And here's the reality of what happens when you stick with it. That heavy feeling, it feels awful at first, but I promise you, it fades. You'll realize the world didn't fall apart because you said no. And you learn something really important. The people who genuinely respect you will respect your boundaries. And the ones who get upset, well, they were probably benefiting from you not having any.
Okay, I get it. This all sounds great, but how do you actually start? We're going to wrap up with one single incredibly powerful micro habit that you can literally start using the second this is over.
That's it, just 1 second. The very next time someone asks you for something, before that automatic yes can escape, just pause. Take one deep breath. That tiny little gap is all you need to interrupt that people-pleasing reflex and let your logical brain catch up. It puts you back in the driver's seat. So let's just put a bow on this. It is not your job to manage everyone else's feelings or live up to their expectations. Saying no to things you don't have the time or energy for isn't selfish. It's not rude. It's just honest. And honesty is the bedrock of any healthy relationship, especially the one you have with yourself. So that's the art of saying no without the guilt. And the only question left is this. Now that you have this new way of looking at it and a simple formula to use, what is the very first thing you're going to say no to so you can finally say yes to yourself?